Welcome back to the Inside the Trailer Sports Podcast. Today is episode number 19 and our first episode with our special guest. We have our friend John here. My name is Drew and this is Connor. Episode number 19. John, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm John. I've known them most of my life. Big Red Sox fan, and we're going to be talking a little baseball today.
Yeah, I guess I didn't get the memo that we were doing jerseys.
Yeah,
No one really
I'm
said
sorry.
that.
It kind of was the unwritten memo of the day.
Yeah. Honestly, that's on me.
That's on us, though. That's on us
It's
for
on
not
you
communicating that. No, that's on me for not saying something. I just grabbed it just
It's fine.
just because.
It's fine. I'm okay being basic, to be completely honest.
Hey, that's
I
cool.
am honored that I'm the first guest.
Yeah.
I know, first guest from the show,
guest,
so
yeah.
Excited. Let's get it. Let's kick it off. Let's start hot here.
I'm down.
Again, you're here to talk about some baseball, so let's jump right into that. Obviously, me and Drew, we're not the biggest baseball guys in the world, but I'd like to know a little more about baseball. I'd like to get more into it this season, so kind of give me the rundown as probably one of the bigger baseball fans that I know. So give me the rundown on kind of how, the 2025, 2026 season's looking. And,
How do you play baseball?
Yeah, give me the rules breakdown.
Yeah, so, well, we can start with the Sox.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
They're going to the World Series.
Oh. Bold take.
Not bold. I mean, the AL East, or the AL is very weak this year.
Okay.
Lots of injuries. Just a very weak league. And the Sox have added a lot of pieces, big pieces. They've got Crochet and Alex Bregman as the two biggest ads of the offseason. And the AL East is weak, very weak. The Yankees aren't good. They didn't add anyone to replace Juan Soto, which Juan Soto could finish top 5 in MVP voting for the next
That's wild.
12 years.
That is kind of wild. Actually.
Yeah. Garrett Cole just is going to have Tommy John surgery. He's out for the year. Their rotation's not good. Luis Gil, who was one of their better starters last year, his optimistic timeline is the summer,
Okay.
midsummer. So they're just weak, and they have question marks everywhere. Their whole lineup, probably at least 5 players could be bench players on a lot of other teams.
Really?
Damn.
Another bold take. A lot of people have them making the wild card. I don't think they're making the playoffs.
No,
And I
really?
wouldn't
Wow.
be surprised if they end up with a losing season because
Just pissed off a bunch of people. I'm not gonna lie.
good,
Yeah.
honestly, good. I've had to suffer through some terrible Red Sox
Fair,
years
fair.
for the past 5 seasons, so I don't care. 2021 was good, but yeah, I think it's the Red Sox division.
Uh-oh.
That was not on me.
No, you're good.
That's
you're
all
good.
right.
Little things happen.
Yeah,
That's all right. Just put it a little low so it doesn't knock over. That's
Yeah.
quite all right.
I'll just project.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
all right.
Or hold it. I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
But yeah, so Yankees not good. It's the Red Sox division to lose.
Fair enough.
Especially if they stay healthy. They have great starting pitching depth. I don't remember last time they had depth this good.
Yep.
Bayo is starting on the DL, but he'll be back within the first 2-3 weeks of the season.
Okay.
And he's one of our better pitchers. Hauk is going to have a great season. They just got Crochet, who I think will finish top 2 in Cy Young voting this year.
Really? Okay.
Yep. Their lineup was one of the best in baseball last year. And they got Bregman, who
Yeah.
all of last season, everyone who follows baseball said the Red Sox needed a right-handed power bat. Now Bregman hasn't had a fantastic offensive season since really 2019 was his last great offensive. But I mean, we have the Green Monster, 300.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's easy.
315 away. Just pepper that thing. If
Yeah.
you do that, we're gonna be set this year. But yeah, this is going to be a really fun season, I think, and it'll be really nice because I'll be able to watch my team play competitive baseball into September and all throughout the summer, and hopefully into October, which will be a lot of fun.
I wouldn't complain if that happened.
Me neither.
I wouldn't
Me
complain.
neither.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
obviously you talk like very highly of the Sox this year. What are some of the other powerhouses that you are like, damn, these are competitors to the Sox, people who could make the World Series, along with if you think the Sox are making the World Series?
So my World Series is Dodgers Red Sox. And
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't
I like
think no team is beating the Dodgers.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
a 7-game series
They're too
for
nasty.
the next potentially 5 years. Like
That's
I
wild.
think they could go on a generation. Like their rotation, they have 7 starting pitchers.
It's kind of
You
insane.
have 5 in a rotation, maybe 6. And the 7 that they have in the rotation, granted they're not all healthy currently, but they should be coming. They'll be back this season. And usually, like, okay, yeah, we have like even the Sox. Like the Sox have 7 starting pitchers, but some of those are like number 4s, number 5s.
Fringe starters,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
They're good, but they're just not like a ace of the staff.
Yeah.
The Dodgers legitimately have like 6 out of their 7, maybe 7 of their 7 starters are 1s and 2s.
That's
And
wild.
they would be opening day starters on probably 26 teams in the entire
Crazy.
MLB.
Crazy.
That's
It's,
wild.
like insane, the rotation. Their bullpen's not bad, and then their lineup is just like, wow.
Yeah.
It's like you have, if you're a baseball fan, you have to watch Dodgers.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even as guys like us who don't watch baseball as much, I mean, you just know that the Dodgers are a powerhouse. I mean, Shohei Ohtani, arguably the best player in the league. I mean,
Maybe
I
ever.
not-
Maybe
I
ever.
don't even know if that's debatable.
It's, to me, not debatable.
It's not debatable.
If
But-
he can play, and he'll be pitching, he's already he's going to be throwing a bullpen session from a mound.
Yeah, because last year he
I think
didn't even
on
get to
Saturday.
throw, right? Yeah, because
Yeah,
he had
Tommy
he had
John.
Tommy John, but he was able to hit though.
Yeah, and like that they seem to be taking their time with him coming back. They're not rushing him back, which is huge because the last thing you want to do is rush him back. He gets injured,
Right.
and then it's like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, that's
Because
fair.
if he gets injured again, he's already had 2 Tommy John surgeries.
He's at 2?
Yes.
Wow, really? Okay.
No one has 3.
That's wild.
So if his arm gets hurt again, like he's done. Which he's still
He's still gonna be one of the top players in the
yes,
league.
But
It
if
just
he
won't
can
throw.
pitch for a little bit longer, like if he can pitch another 2, even maybe just 2 seasons, but 2-3 seasons of like his sub 3.5 ERA, he will be the best baseball player ever,
That's wild.
without a doubt in my mind.
It's kind of crazy to think about that.
Yeah, and with that being said, he's my pick to win NL MVP.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's his to lose for the probably next minimum 3 to 5 years.
Well, I'll ask you too because I mean, like you said, it seems like it's gonna be a lock for Shohei in the NL, but in the AL, how do we feel this year about who would win MVP?
So as much as I want to pick someone on the Sox, I think it's Bobby Witt Jr.'s this year.
Mhm.
And like I said, the Yankees aren't good. They didn't replace Juan Soto. Giancarlo Stanton's hurt. He's got troubles with both of his biceps. I don't know if there's a timeline for him to return quite yet. So there's no one really going to be protecting him that much in that order. So pitchers are just going to be able to pitch around him, walk him, send him down first. So I just don't think he'll have the amazing numbers to win an MVP this year. Now, he very well could, and I believe he's the favorite, as he should be.
Okay.
But I just don't know if he's going to be... If pitchers are going to be forced to pitch to him for him to put up the crazy numbers that he has pretty much throughout his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
Especially home runs wise.
Yeah.
If there's no one behind him, they're just going to walk him in or just not give him great pitches.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Well, I mean, if the Yankees are part of this group of teams that kind of suck and at the bottom of the league that you think, who else is in this area? Because I'm coming from this with a completely clean slate.
The Diamondbacks is another one, and this one I thought they were going to have a good season this year, but Jordan Montgomery just went down with Tommy John. He's done for
Of
the
course,
year.
bro. Tommy John is just killing everybody.
Yeah.
This dude named Tommy, bro.
Tommy, man, he's going around getting them.
You, Tommy.
But so I think that's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
He had a tough start to the year last year with contracts. He came back super I think after spring training was already over.
Damn.
But then he just had a rough go of it. But I think this year was supposed to be a nice little bounce back season for him. And I think that just hurts the Diamondbacks this year.
Fair.
Now, granted, they could go and trade for someone. That's very possible. But I don't know. They're already an offensive team. Like, you don't think of their pitching that much, but
I thought the Diamondbacks were on the come up.
well, I mean, they were in the World Series 2 years ago,
Right.
against the Dodgers. Nope, they beat the Dodgers.
Isn't that about the Rangers?
Yes, the
Yes,
Rangers.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I just think when a top 2 pitcher on your team goes down with Tommy John and he's out for the season, that's hard to come back from. Now, granted, they have other good pitchers on their team, but I think that's a huge, huge blow.
Yeah.
Huge blow.
Yeah, and I would say that too.
So kind of going back on that with teams kind of falling off from going from the World Series. I mean, the Yankees were just in the World Series, so
They were.
So it's kind of wild to me. Again, as a casual, not really paying too much attention. I kind of somewhat know what's going on.
Yep.
But it just sounds like obviously losing Juan Soto was huge. Garrett Cole going down. I mean, is there any other like huge moves? I mean, they still have Aaron Judge, so being able to go from the top of the mountain, like barely just getting over there, coming all the way down now this season. I mean, what? Kind of fill me in on why we're here in terms of the Yankees.
With the Yankees, yeah, I mean, the Luis Gil injury's huge. The Garrett Cole, I mean, he won Cy Young last year.
Yeah.
I mean, those are 2 huge blows. They had Marcus Stroman, who a lot of people didn't even think he was going to make the opening day roster. He's at the tail end of his career. These 2 injuries have been like huge for him.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably celebrated this when he heard him.
Yeah.
As much as that stinks down, but like that, he has a job now as a starting pitcher, and he also said that he did not want to go to the bullpen at all. Like, he was like, I'm not doing it. I'm a starting pitcher. I've been one my whole career. I'm gonna stay one. So he has that now, but he might get like shelled if he ends up with a 5 ERA or even 5.25 ERA. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. And that's just putting Carlos Rendon. I think they announced that he's going to get the ball on opening day. He was going to be like their number 4 starter, and now he's number 1 too. I mean, they have Max Fried, who's their ace, but like, it just, when you have someone that was supposed to be your number 4, then he's got to carry this big load. And he's also had the last few seasons, pretty much since he's been on the Yankees, he's had injury problems. So it's just, I don't know. It's going to be tough for them. I think, like, they still have Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Top 3 player in the league, I think. I would say maybe number 2. But it's baseball. This isn't basketball where, like, one player can get you to the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
You need a whole team.
You need a whole team. You need
kind of how it works.
Pitching. You need, I mean, look at the Red Sox last year. They finished 500. They had like a top 5 offense in baseball. Their offense was phenomenal. No pitching, you don't make playoffs.
Right.
And I think this is where the Yankees are headed. Which they also haven't had a losing season, I think, since like the 90s.
Really? Wow.
It's been a long time.
That's wild. I mean,
they've been since before we were born. But I want to say it was
crazy.
the 90s. Yeah, which is crazy.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I mean, they've always been consistently good. I feel like,
they've had like their down years, like every team does. But like,
over 500 for the last like 30 years is insane.
It's crazy.
It's just because like the Yankees are such a prestigious like baseball club to be on. I feel like they attract so many good free agents every single year, and it's like
they've got the funds to do it too.
They do.
Exactly. It's kind of.
How many World Series do they have to show in between that though? Like 1, 2?
Oh, their last one was in 2009.
So like 2.
So it's been 1 since we were born, I think.
Oh, really?
I think so. 1 in World Series in 2009, and then 2000. Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So 1 in my lifetime. That's pretty crazy.
But 2 since like their last.
Oh wait, no, they won the World Series in 99. That's when they repeated 98 to 2000. That's right.
So they really haven't had too much success besides that one World Series after that.
I mean.
But I mean, still being able to be consistently good like that is absolutely insane. Like the longevity.
Their last losing season might have been 92.
Wow, that's.
So you're calling basically, or well, do you think they're going to be 500 or below 500? You're saying below 500, right?
I'm going to say below 500. I think, especially like injuries happen in baseball, even if it's just like little nagging injuries where you go on like the DL for like a week or so. Like every team gets in. There's 162 games. You start
so many.
It's a long season.
You start March. and then you end. I think the season ends like last day of September this year.
Yeah.
That's a long stretch. You're on the road for half of the year. Like that's this.
It's a lot of baseball.
To me, the baseball season is the biggest grind in all of sports.
It's gotta be.
162.
So many games.
Right.
You get like maybe one day off a week.
Yeah.
It's a grind, but yeah, I think they're gonna finish below 500 this year,
Wow.
which I'll be very happy to see.
And now, I guess kind of opposite where we're going from like the top of the mountain to the bottom. The Red Sox, I'll come back to them as well because I know, like you said, the past couple of years it's been tough times, but now I feel like they kind of drastically are kind of to the back of the mountain. I saw a ranking where I think they had the Red Sox in the fourth, kind of in the power rankings in the league.
Yeah.
And I know last year, kind of throughout the season or going into the season, they weren't supposed to be so good, but you kind of said they finished in that 500. So what are we? Obviously, big acquirements like Bregman. So just getting that pitching, you think is kind of what's going to help the Red Sox go to the top of the mountain percent?
100%, yeah. And just like the depth, because they had injuries to their rotation last year. We saw Cutter Crawford and Houck have their first like full season where they're asked to be starting pitchers, and their just arms like gave out pretty much right after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Like going into the All-Star break, I remember like having like oh my god, like this is going to be a nice fun team going into the playoffs, and they might be able to get into like the second wild card, third wild card or something. And then they just fell apart, and like they got injuries. Houck went from at the very beginning of the year to like he could win Cy Young or finish top 5 to he's done. Like stick a fork in him.
Quickly.
His season should be over. But him and Cutter, like with the depth they have now, they can afford to like have them miss like a start or two, let them rest their arms, and then just get back out there. Last year they couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
Because they needed them to go out and give up 3 runs in like 6-7 innings and win that baseball game. They had to. Last season they had every time through the rotation, they had at least 1, maybe 2 bullpen games. Having 2 bullpen games is absurd.
It is.
Yeah.
And now we have 7 guys who can come and make starts. And it's going to be fantastic. And I'm so excited. Now,
I'm looking forward to it.
Injuries happen to everyone, but like I think this is going to be a great year. Like the pitch, like I cannot stress enough how great this pitching is going to be this year. And then we have Bregman, who, like I said earlier, is I think going to help this offense a lot.
Yeah.
And he's going to be starting at third base. Alex Cora came out today and said that he is going to be starting at third. And Devers is going to DH. There's a lot of drama since the very beginning.
I was about to ask you about that
Yeah.
with the Devers drama. So kind of fill us in, for people who might not be as familiar, into detail with the drama going on.
Yeah, so they signed Bregman, and there was like talk like that the Sox were linked to Bregman pretty much the whole offseason. And it was like, where are they gonna put him? Like, is he gonna just go play second? Is he gonna play third? Like, where do we do with Devers? Is Devers gonna stay the DH? Is he gonna move to DH? Is he gonna stay at third? And then we have all these young guys. We don't even talk about the young guys yet. But then they're gonna be kicking the door down. Like, Christian Campbell, like he might be playing second, which he's the opening day starter at second. So like, where was this all gonna like align? My guy, probably my second favorite player on this team, Masataka Yoshida. He's a lefty bat, but like he was gonna be a DH. Like, where did he go? But then it came out to which it's pretty much been all along. Devers has not really played much spring training, and Bregman has played very little third during the season, or very little second base in spring training, and it's been all Campbell pretty much getting a lot of reps at second. So it's gonna be Alex Bregman at third, Trevor Story at short, Christian Campbell at second, Casas at first, and Devers DHing, which defensively that's their best alignment.
That's a good lineup right there.
I like it.
Now with I was talking injuries, Trevor Story has not played a full season, I don't think, with the Boston Red Sox.
No, he's always been getting hurt.
I think he is going to get injured again. And then we can move Bregman to short, potentially bring Devers back to third, then Yoshida can DH. I think Story's going to get hurt. personally, I don't want him on this baseball team anymore.
Really? Okay, wow.
Send him to the moon. I don't care. we can eat that contract. I'm just not. I'm like over this whole thing. Like he keeps getting injured.
Yeah.
Like he can hit a little bit, but like it's just so inconsistent.
Right.
He
want
plays
consistency.
Good defense, which is another thing that this team has been not good at since 2022.
Right.
Like they've been atrocious. So this infield will be great.
Okay.
And it brings Zayden Rafaela back out to the outfield, which he will win a Golden Glove in center field at some point this year. He played shortstop a lot last year after Story got injured, but his position center field. He's a good shortstop. He can play a couple games. I don't think he should be the Sox everyday shortstop.
Fair enough.
Moving back out of center field, he'll go like Jackie Bradley Jr. is here.
Yep.
Like he's like right here.
He's
like,
on the doorstep.
so
Okay.
yeah.
He makes like insane plays. His arm
solid.
isn't the same as Jackie Bradley Jr., but like he's it's so much fun watching him just go dive for baseballs out in the outfield.
Yeah.
Then him and Duran, and it's gonna be a good year. Then we have Willie Abreu, who I don't think he's starting the year. I think he's starting it on the DL. I'm not sure though. But he won a Gold Glove last year, so like this raindrops will not drop on this. It's going to be great.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'll kind of stray away a little bit from Red Sox just to not exhaust that topic.
Yeah.
Obviously, well, I don't even know if it's obvious, but MLB, just like the newest game, just dropped, obviously. The 3 cover athletes, right? Paul Skeens, Ellie De La Cruz, and Gunnar Henderson. How are they going to do this year? Because obviously they're on the cover for a reason.
Yeah.
They're the young... They're the future of baseball, right? Is it fair to say that?
100%.
So what is their outlook for the year? Obviously, Skeens is way more common of a name that we know.
Yeah,
But
Paul Skeens, I mean, the world is his oyster. He is appointment TV. All of my friends, roommates get mad at me. I'm like, nah, man, I can't go out tonight.
Libby
And they're
Dunn's
like,
boyfriend?
Yeah, and they're like, John, what do you mean? Like, we're gonna go out. Like, it's Saturday night, Friday night.
Sure, yeah.
Like, Paul Skeens is pitching. I am not missing this.
Must-see TV.
I think I may have missed 3 starts of his last year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
The movement he has on his baseballs is insane. He throws 100 miles an hour, and it moves like crazy. It's like, how do you do that? Literally, how can you do that? Now, I feel bad for him because everyone in baseball media is like, he's gonna go down as like the greatest player of all time, and that stinks for someone who I think he got votes last year, so I think this will be his second year, first full year in the MLB, and like the expectation is so high this year.
Yeah,
he's the favorite to win Cy Young. He's my pick to win Cy Young. He might get MVP votes. I think he'll be the next pitcher to win Cy Young and MVP in the same season, which does not happen a lot. I think he could do it. He could do it this year.
That's fair.
But I think he'll win one within the next 5 years. But I mean, his stuff's electric. But I'll move on. But I'll go to Gunnar Henderson. He's great. He's the best player on the Orioles.
Oh yeah.
He's awesome. He's their shortstop. He kind of terrorizes the Red Sox. But he's a really good player. Power, average, one of the best defensive shortstops I would say in the game. And then Ellie De La Cruz is fun. Dude, he is fun.
Social media sensation last season.
He is.
It was insane.
He steals an insane amount of bags. He has a little bit of power. The only thing is he strikes out way too much. John Carlos Stanton type numbers. And his average is a little low. But the amount of stolen bases he had last year, and for what his on base and batting average was, it was shouldn't have worked. If he can just not strike out that much, put the ball in play, get on base. If he can raise that on base percentage, let's see, it was 334, but his batting average. Oh, that's projected for this year. My bad. I was gonna say that was
what the
high.
hell, man?
Yeah. My bad. He's got a career 250 batting average. So if he can
Bring that up.
Get that to like a 260, like he will be. Oh, here we go. I finally found it. So last year, he had a 259 batting average with a 339 on base. If he can bring that up, like he stole 67 bags last year, like he could get to that 70 mark, which does not happen a lot. He's also the threat to break the record, which is held by Acuna Jr., which is not too far away from it if he keeps putting up numbers, stays healthy. But I mean, you get on base more, like you're gonna steal more bags. It's not like a is he gonna go? It's like a when is
when's he gonna go?
Fair enough.
What's the record for most of the season?
I think it's 80 something.
And that's held by Acuna?
85? Yeah. I'll look it up real quick.
That wasn't that long ago.
73, I think. Yeah, I think it's 73.
Very
that was,
doable.
That was two seasons ago.
I was gonna say I remember that being like only a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah.
Seeing something like that. So.
And he was injured for the most of last year.
Damn.
De La Cruz?
Yeah. Oh,
I was gonna say,
it was oh, that's not right. Never mind. My bad. But yeah, Acuna Jr. is gonna be fully healthy this year.
Yep.
And which is great for the game of baseball. If he's playing baseball games, he's a lot of fun to watch. He's one of the best. He's another guy who'll finish probably top 5 in MVP voting if he can stay healthy. And he's just so much fun to watch. Baseball is great right now. It's in a great spot.
That's what I was gonna say.
The game's fun. We've got like new stars like Paul Skeens.
Yep.
And I can't Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn bring so many eyes to the game. I'm like
Absolutely.
It's funny though. It's funny.
Their baseball version of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, but everyone
likable.
Yes, exactly.
But
everyone
but
loves
more a little more likable.
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone loves them. Like if they post Livy Dunn, I'm not like get her off the screen. Like
Right.
come on.
I was gonna make a comment because it felt like, not necessarily for me, but for a lot of people that I know, that baseball was dying for the last 5 years in a way. That like it just didn't feel the same. Like people didn't really want to watch it as much. And I don't know the numbers, and I don't think it's even like justifiable to like know what the numbers are. But I just feel like this season's different. I feel like the young stars are good. Teams that should be good are going to be good.
Yep.
And like, I don't know. The vibe just seems different. And maybe that's because we're Boston Red Sox fans. So it's like, maybe we just
It could be a little biased, but
at the same time, I just feel like baseball is back up on the rise a little bit. And I don't know if you guys get the same feeling.
Yeah, so I think the pitch clock plays a big role in that.
Yeah.
Games can finish now in 2.5 hours.
Yes.
Maybe even 2. Like I went to a couple games last year that were like I think under 2 hours.
Yeah, we went to one that was like just about 2 hours last year.
Yeah, so I mean that's great. People would always complain about like these games going on for like 3+ hours, 4 hours even. Playoff games might be going on for 5 hours. Now me, I don't care. But like a lot of people like
as like a diehard baseball fan,
exactly.
like it's still good. But as someone who's a casual or not into it, like it's gonna gear them away from watching the game.
Yeah. I think the pitch clock is great for the game and bringing eyes to it and like keeping people like involved with it, and then just like new stars, and we're starting to get players now who want to show their personality. Yeah. Which is another big part.
It's everything.
It's how you market the game.
Yeah, look at like the NBA. They have so many marketable people.
Absolutely,
for the longest time, like if he's healthy, he could have a great year, but he can't and probably won't. But like, look, Mike Trout's a perfect example of this.
Yeah.
For the longest time, everyone was gonna say myself included, said he's gonna be the greatest player to ever play the game. He got injured, but he didn't want to like be the face of baseball. He didn't want to do all the interviews. He just wanted to go play baseball, go hang out with his family, and go play baseball. And that's okay.
Oh, that's perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine. But in terms of growing the game,
it's hard.
That's just not going to do it.
It's not going to work that way.
Yeah.
You got to promote someone who's going to be marketable for the game, and having guys that aren't afraid to show their personality and do the interviews, and be fun. Like someone you said, like De La Cruz, that's like fun to watch play. It's going to make like you want to sit down and watch him. Yep. Paul Skeens, like you said, someone that you literally sit down to watch. You don't go out because I got to watch Paul Skeens play because he's that good.
Yeah, exactly.
So Definitely something big, like you said. Something feels different about MLB this year, and I want to get into it. I want us to be able to talk about it more often, more on the show.
Yeah.
Do kind of stuff like this, talk about it with you. Bring other people on, whoever. I think it's a lot of fun. I think something that we could potentially do, which could be a hint for going forward in the spring and summer, is maybe we go to a game. Maybe we go to a game with you. And kind of just give our reactions to the game, kind of, maybe do some on the street interviews, just whatever, just some type of content, at a baseball game, just something fun that, we can kind of sit back and think about if that's something, that people might want to see or watch. But, regardless though, I'd still love to go to a game.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
It would be fun.
Correct myself. The stolen base king is still Ricky Henderson with 130 in a year.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
That's not going to get touched.
That's not going to get touched.
That's insane.
But yeah.
Still though, could hit second.
Could hit second.
Could
yeah.
hit second.
Is Acuna second? Or is it?
I
won't make you
I
research
forget.
that, but
It's just there's the potential to hit second. Is
Yeah.
what you're saying. That's all.
right.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely. Maybe even like live stream like Sox Yankees game if they're good. Sox Dodgers
Yeah, we'll definitely
Hey.
have to come up with some type of content
Not
where
opposed,
we
yeah.
kind of sit down, watch a game, maybe go to a game, and kind of just
Worked out for hockey.
film. Yeah, and just kind of film our experience and post that. I think that would be some great content. So I'd absolutely love to do that. I'd absolutely love for you to come with us, and
I'm
we'll
down.
we'll make it fun. We'll make it fun. Again, we'll have to do this again. Come and sit down and talk about baseball. We could sit here and talk about this all day. I kind of want to switch past a little bit, and let's move forward to the NFL.
Sure.
It's been a little bit since we did the show. It's been about 2 weeks now, I think, probably since our last episode.
Yeah.
So some stuff's happened, but two of the bigger things that have happened in the past couple of days that I'd love to talk about. The first is Stefon Diggs to the Patriots. Patriots get their wide receiver one without a
Yep,
question. This
they
is
do.
something that the Patriots have been trying to get for years and years, and they haven't been able to get it. They got their guy, no question about it. Diggs is the number one going forward to the season. How do we feel about this? Raw initial reactions. I know we might have mixed. I think we might have some mixed opinions in the building.
I'm looking at John right now. And I don't know how I feel about it. I'll start.
Yeah, I'll start with you.
Because I feel like John's about to come off really negative. So I want
Let's start positive.
I wanna start
Let's start
positive.
We want the
Positive,
positive.
negative, positive.
We want the positive vibe. Not as a spoiler. Yeah. Let's start with some positive vibes here.
I like the move. I think it's very simple. I think it's very simple is that if you went to the season with Pop Douglas as your number one, first of all, the media would crucify you. Second of all,
Pop Dog is great.
sure, bro. Sure, Pop Douglas is good. We know that. But the problem is he a wide receiver one? No. So, and sure, you could draft one.
How's that going?
How's that gonna go?
How's that going for you? You've tried doing that so many years now,
Yeah,
and it just
and it's
doesn't
not-
work.
And I look, honestly, I would still kind of want them to draft a wide receiver. I don't think that's off the table at all. But it's safer to have another guy who could be the wide receiver one. Sure, you can mention attitude problems, and I'm sure that's where John's going after this. I don't care. To be honest, I don't care if he has attitude issues. If Vrabel can change a team, I feel like he's so capable of doing that. I'm okay with it. We needed talent. There wasn't much talent left in free agency, and you got probably the best available wide receiver at the time. I don't hate it as long as you do seek out another wide receiver, and that's kind of what I'll leave it at. But yeah, I'll hear you out on this one.
As long as that wide receiver that they seek out is Travis Hunter, I don't care.
Okay, fair.
I think Stefon Diggs is a cancer in the locker room.
Cancer,
And
by the way.
He was one on the Bills, and they were still really good this year, if not better, without him. I'm not wrong there, right? But then, I want Travis Hunter on this football team.
Me too.
Again, me and a couple of my roommates, Colorado football games were appointment TV. We were not missing those for the past 2 years. So a little bit, it's a little bias. I could get a guy that I watched and it was a huge fan of for the last 2 years on my football team on Sundays. So there's a little bit of that, but I also think he's a great wide receiver. The question is he gonna go both ways?
Well, yeah. We'll save a little bit to talk about Travis Hunter when we talk.
Yeah.
After Diggs, we're going to talk about Russell Wilson and him going to the Giants, but I do want to hear more.
Yeah, but my biggest thing was he didn't seem like he was the nicest or the greatest teammate in the locker room in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And is he a great player? 100%. I do want to know how is he gonna
We'll
be
see.
at 32 years old after the ACL injury.
That's another thing. Yeah.
And then the money. I feel like we could have got Cooper Kupp instead for maybe
I
a
think
little
Diggs
cheaper.
is better. I'm not gonna lie. I think Diggs is better at this point of his career.
That's the biggest thing is at this point in their career. So I don't know which one. Like I don't think no matter which one we got, I truly don't believe either of them are like at peak. Like I think they might be past their prime.
They're both definitely past their prime.
As long as we get Travis Hunter and he's not a cancer in the locker room. When we have a young core that we're building up here, we have Drake May. I don't care as long as he's not like hounding Drake May, like pass me the ball.
That's what I would be sucky.
I'll be fine.
If we don't get Travis Hunter, though, wouldn't it look better that we got Stefon Diggs? Right?
Again, I'm biased.
Alright.
I want Travis Hunter on my football.
Me too. I just don't know if he's going to be there.
I think you both make great points. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, you're wrong,
No,
John.
because you're not wrong.
I see both sides of the ball. I mean, I understand the fact that, Diggs has kind of been, had the reputation of maybe having locker room problems in prior teams, in prior experiences. But at the end of the day, with a team like the Patriots where they need the wide receiver one so desperately. I think what they need is a guy who's not afraid to speak his mind and be able to come in and command the attention of the offense, because again, that's something that we haven't seen, and I don't think Drake May is necessarily going to be afraid to give that attention to Diggs when he's got that's the guy. We don't got to worry about, okay, we're gonna have to pass the ball and spread the love around because we don't have a number one guy that we can always rely on with a healthy Diggs, and we're looking to see him be healthy for week 1. I think he's gonna get a lot of volume, and I'm super excited about that. I'm not too worried about having to necessarily worry about sharing targets for when it comes to Diggs. He's gonna command it. He's not gonna demand it. He's gonna command it, where it's just gonna come to him without him having to say anything. At least in my mind.
Shouldn't have to.
And I think Mike Vrabel is a really good coach. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL, and I think he's definitely better than Sean McDermott. So maybe this is where Sean McDermott and what?
Nothing.
I agree with that.
Oh, I didn't.
Sean McDermott catching straight.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Okay, well, you use the Bills as a specific example, so I'm going to bounce off of the Bills because this is where he's kind of been.
Sean McDermott's trash, but
yeah. Well, that's a different conversation, kind of. But anywho, because we were kind of talking about him being on the Bills, and that's kind of where a lot of the locker room cancer talks came from necessarily. I think with a coach that is so. He's a player coach, and I think commanding in a sense too, where he's not afraid to speak his mind, and he's going to challenge the hell out of these guys. I think what Diggs needs is a guy like that, and that might not have been what Sean McDermott was. He needs a guy who's going to he's going to give him a challenge to go out there and command the offense. Like Mike Vrabel's going to give him the keys. Like, okay, you're the number one guy, but you also need to go out there and earn it. Don't think anything is given to you. And I think this is something that maybe Diggs is kind of realizing, where he's on the back end of his career. So maybe he won't be as much of a diva, I guess we kind of want to use that word, to describe Diggs. And hopefully he'll kind of be more of a team-friendly guy, and being able to help Drake May develop into one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL that he can absolutely become.
Yeah.
With the contract, 3 years, $69 million, 26 guaranteed. So I don't think, that's necessarily bad. I think if you want to say it's an overpay, you can. I don't think it's an overpay in my opinion. To get a guy like this, you needed to spend the money. It didn't matter
It's a suck tax.
Yes, it's the suck. Yes, I like that. It's the suck tax. You need to be able to just to spend the money, because if you're gonna go cheap and you're not gonna spend that money, no one's gonna want to come to New England in the future. So now, if you are willing to show, okay, we're not afraid to go pay 32-year-old Stefon Diggs to come in and be an X factor into this offense.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe the next free agent's gonna be like, all right, well, I'm gonna come to New England.
Yeah.
They're getting better. They're not afraid to pay guys. Like, absolutely, I'm gonna go to New England.
no one's taking the vet minimum to go win a Super Bowl here anymore.
No, that's not a thing anymore.
We don't get the winning tax anymore on that. We get the suck tax, which is something that we're not necessarily used to.
But we have the money to do it.
But we have the money to do it now, exactly. And I think that's something that the Patriots need to continue to do in the future, is not be able not be afraid to be able to pay people.
Right.
And we saw, them do it with Milton Williams, which, funny enough, Milton Williams is now the highest paid Patriot in all of history.
That's crazy.
That's wild to me. But again, they need to be able to go out there and pay people if they want to build a great team. And again, I'm kind of just getting off track here. I'm going to gear it back towards Diggs. I think this is a great signing from the Patriots. I loved Diggs when he was on Minnesota. Then he went to Buffalo, and I kind of had to, be a hater. But
he was good as a Texan too, to be honest.
When he was healthy, yes.
Yeah.
For the time that he was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For the time that he was healthy, he was great with the Texans. So hopefully, he'll be able to be good for week 1. Come in, not demand the offense, command the offense to be able to show that he is that number 1 guy. And if there was any doubters, prove them wrong.
I like that.
I really like the signing for the Patriots, and I'm super excited. But again, I could sit here and talk all day about how good of a signing this was.
I could, yeah.
We're gonna switch over to one of the bigger other free agent signings.
Something else to say about that?
Just a little thing, but like you say, command. I mean, like, who else on the Pats is gonna command the football? I mean, we have Pop Douglas, Kayshon Boutte.
No.
To me, those are the only 2. I guess now we have Matt Collins. Those are the only 2 actual wide receivers that we have coming into this new year. Kayshon Boutte is more of just a deep field, down the field threat.
Yeah.
Pop Douglas is more of like a
slot guy,
crossing route slot receiver. I mean, this is, like you said, truly a wide receiver 1, which is what we've needed for so long.
Absolutely. Exactly. And again, I'm just going to kind of touch a little more. You mentioned, Boutte being kind of the deep guy, Douglas being the slot guy, and Diggs being that number 1 guy. It could potentially open up the field even more for Douglas and Boutte to get open because, Diggs is going to command the attention of the defenders because he's the solidified wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
So maybe we can also see a career year for Boutte and Douglas and potentially, guys
Drake May.
Well, obviously, yes, definitely Drake May. But guys, maybe they could open up the offense.
Yeah,
I would hope so. I hope so. But other guys too in the offense, Hollins, Polk, Bourne, whoever, you just getting the opportunities and getting open. But I really like the signing of Diggs a lot. And if it doesn't work out, maybe he's toxic in the locker room.
It happens next year.
Then whatever.
It's really not that difficult.
It's not that difficult. You figure it out and you move forward from there.
Yeah.
But again, we're gonna move on from this because again, I could talk about this all day because I'm super excited. Going over to the Giants though, over in New York, they just got Russell Wilson, and now Russell Wilson was kind of we were kind of confused where Russ was going to go in this offseason. He stayed in Pittsburgh? Early in the offense, is he going to go to the Jets? Is he going to go to the Giants? Could he go to
retire?
Could he retire? Could he go to the Raiders? But now we have the answer. He's going to the Giants. How do we feel about this for the Giants?
Worst case scenario. This for a Pats fan, first of all, it's worst case scenario for the league. It's also like it's just confusing.
This is best case scenario.
For who?
Pats fans.
That's true.
Okay.
Because they're going to suck.
I can see your
I will preface this with, if there's no Russell Wilson haters on this earth, I'm dead. I don't like him. But I mean, I don't understand this move. Also, you have Jameis Winston.
I don't understand it either.
Also, I love Jameis Winston. I want to see Jameis go ball. Guess what? I will. Nope. If I can help it, I won't watch a single New York Giants football game this year.
I wasn't gonna do that anyway, to be honest.
If Jameis is their starting quarterback, I'll watch all 17.
It's so much more fun with Jameis.
So much more fun. All those night games, the couple night games he had last season, were great games. Yeah. Everyone loves watching Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Go start him. Don't sign Russ. Also, I just don't get the signing because are you gonna sign him just from sit on the bench?
Well, that's the confusing part is that, and when I said that this is worst case scenario, I mean for draft purposes.
Yeah.
For literal league purposes, I could care less. I don't care. Honest.
They can suck all they want.
I'm just saying, most likely in the betting favorite right now is Travis Hunter to go to the Giants at 3. That screws us over because I'm also pretty sure that Abdul Carter is going to the Browns at 2.
That's the rumor right now.
Who are we taking at 4? Is it Ted McMillan? Are we going to just settle with Will Campbell? Are we going to trade back?
I would love Will Campbell.
You do? Okay. I mean, that's fine.
The biggest thing I've been screaming on my TV for the last couple of seasons is block.
Right.
Get someone.
Yeah.
Will Campbell, I got to see him in person at LSU.
Yep.
You did too.
I did too.
He's awesome.
He's a beast.
Go get him. I don't care if he's supposed to go 13 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Go get him.
Do you think they could trade back though?
They could
and get more.
Trade back to maybe 10.
Who's doing that though?
The Pats. I don't know who they would trade with.
That's what I'm saying.
But like you
Who
could
they-
trade down a little bit. But I don't want if he's projected. I think he's projected 15, maybe 13.
something like that.
Did it drop that low?
Yeah, he did.
I
Wow.
think that's what he's kind of been around. No.
I thought he was a little. I mean, you're probably right. I thought
It's
maybe it's just in
fluctuated,
my
yeah.
mind it was a little lower, but
Yeah,
15.
but
Wow, 13, 15.
If he's supposed to be say 15, don't trade down to like 14. Get him at 10 or something.
I agree.
Right.
Because I want the biggest thing was this team needs an O-line. That's when you look at this team. If there's one thing that you have to address, it's the offensive line.
It's the left tackle, to be honest.
Yes.
That's
So
what it is.
I think Verdarian Lowe is probably going to be your week one left tackle.
What I hear.
Yeah.
When I hear that name.
Yeah, but go. I say go draft him. Go draft him.
No, I like. Sorry, that was funny. I like the idea though trading back from the 4, maybe to like the, late, kind of to the middle, or sorry,
Yeah.
so like 9, 10, 11,
Yeah.
12, somewhere in that ballpark.
Saints, Panthers, something like
There's-
that.
There
There's
could be a
also,
team
like,
that wants to
who
move up.
wants Shador. There's teams that want
There might be a
Shador.
QB needy team who wants to
And-
move up, but the problem is who is it going to be?
Yeah, I just don't know if the Patriots have any leverage in this scenario.
I don't know either.
honest.
I don't know either.
'Cause
And
I
I
think
think
Shador's there at 10, to be completely honest, if they don't trade.
He might.
Not gonna lie,
yeah,
he could be
they
there.
he absolutely could be. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I wouldn't say fall off, but it's just kind of crazy. How like the mock drafts have been changing. Where Shador, in the beginning of the offseason was kind of supposed to be number 1 overall. Now it could be Cam Ward, and then we were like, okay, it's gonna be Cam, and then Shador, but now it's Cam Abdul. But then it doesn't even, you know what I mean? And it's
I still think Shador is the best in like pocket passer coming out of
That's
this
fair.
draft. Cam Ward, he's fantastic. I loved watching him, but I think he could also still have a great career. I just think Shador is more of like a NFL ready quarterback.
think Cam
that's-
Ward.
yeah,
You think
'cause-
Cam's a little more of a project?
Not even a project, but like there's always a question mark with he's like a Cam Newton type. Like yeah, he's a great arm, but he's also like a mobile quarterback. I don't know. There's just
Something
Shador
about him.
kind of like was sit in the pocket. And I'm gonna throw it. He also
Mhm.
had weapons at wide receiver.
He
at
did.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, Travis.
Yeah,
Hunter.
that's still it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have to keep going. That's
Yeah,
just
they
it.
had a couple others that are escaping the top of my head right now, but yeah, I think Shador is a better like pocket passer out of the two of them. But
That's fair.
I don't know. Someone's gonna take him.
Someone's gonna, yeah.
I'm just so like and I just want to go back to it. I'm just so confused because obviously the Giants betting favorite now that is Travis Hunter. Like they were like we needed them to draft Shador
Yeah.
if we were going to even get Travis Hunter and all or Abdul Carter, I guess in that. But the thing is now is clearly they value Russell Wilson over Shador Sanders.
I mean, we all saw that like documentary or whatever, the Hard Knocks that came out during the offseason. It'd be a very Giants thing to do. To go sign Winston,
It's not off the
Russell
board.
Wilson, and go draft a quarterback.
Right.
I could see that too.
They absolutely
still
could do
have
that.
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have Tommy
Tommy
DeVito.
DeVito.
That's gonna be a stacked QB room if they
Yeah.
get Shador. I mean, either it kind of
Yeah, bro.
already
Tommy
is.
DeVito makes his stash.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito.
I mean,
puts it over
he
the
started
head.
a couple games
Bro,
and he
his
was
aura is
okay.
off the chain.
If
Yeah.
it is, he brings the aura into the QB room. That's already Jameis has got a lot of aura too.
Jameis-
Russ has lost some.
Jameis,
Russ
Tommy
stinks, bro.
DeVito.
He stinks.
He used to have
gives him
aura.
Infinite aura. Russell Wilson has zero aura.
He lost
yeah.
that.
Terrible. I hate.
He lost it after
Russell.
he left Seattle. Well, even before then,
I hate
actually, he
Russell.
might have lost it. But no, I like the point that you made a couple minutes ago about Jameis. I think it would have been a little more fun if they rolled with, Jameis as a starter. I just don't think it mixed. I mean, I guess maybe in their minds, okay, we're not going to roll with Shador, so let's bring in a veteran QB battle between Russ and Jameis. But at that point, it's like you might as well just bring in a young QB. I'm still fine with the Jameis signing, even with bringing in Shador. Let him learn from Jameis potentially. I mean, if you don't sign Jameis, you bring in Russ. Okay, same thing. You let him learn. But it's just weird to me. You bring in 2 veteran quarterbacks,
This is very.
and then it just leads me to think that they're not going to go quarterback in the draft. Which, sure, you're just going to be stuck.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to go another year without finding your franchise guy. You're just going to have to wait till next year.
I think they should go sign one. They're not having luck drafting them, so
Yeah.
go
but
sign one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cousins, brother somewhere.
you think Kirk is still going to could be a franchise guy at this point of his career though, especially after that big injury last offseason?
I'm a huge Kirk Cousins guy.
But
has he ever been like a franchise guy? He's never like.
Kind of.
In the sense, yes, but like, due to go make a deep playoff run, are you counting on Kirk Cousins?
No.
But hey, he could get you there.
Yeah, absolutely. He could.
Definitely he could win you games.
Saw it with the Vikings, but
yeah, I don't know. I think they should go and draft one or go sign one. Not they're drafting quarterbacks like the Pats drafting
wide receiver.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, you definitely do make a good point there. You're absolutely correct. So we're gonna have to see kind of how the Giants play out in terms of the draft, but it definitely makes it interesting for other teams like the Patriots, where you were gonna have options on the table because you assumed the Giants were gonna take Sanders and you knew the Titans were gonna take Cam Ward, so that's 2 off the board. Now you definitely you were either gonna get Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. Now you might not even get either one of them. And, we just signed Diggs, so do they go and get Tet? They absolutely could.
I could see it.
I could definitely still see them doing that. I'm not going to be mad if they go do that. No. Do you trade back and go Will Campbell? You could. Do you do something else there? Who knows? It's going to be kind of interesting to see how they play and how the rest of the field plays. The Browns, the rumor right now is, people were saying they could take Sanders potentially.
I can see that too.
But right now it seems like Carter is going to be number 2.
Yeah.
Which we've said before, that's going to be a dangerous duo if they do take Carter and Garrett together.
It's kind of stupid though.
I think that stacks the defense up so insane. I'm not mad at it.
Sure, but like you have no quarterback.
The rest of the draft, you just try to go offense, I guess.
I don't know,
if you
man.
can.
I think they're just so like scarred from past quarterbacks they've failed on that it's just like
they just don't want to. I don't know.
I would just draft Sanders, and maybe that's a little bit of bias in me, but I feel like it's just safer to just do that.
No, I agree with you. Maybe it's just because they have the Deshaun contract where they just kind of need to. I don't know.
Yeah.
They maybe are forced to kind of ride it out with him and see what happens. I don't know.
Worst contract ever, honestly.
Absolutely, it is.
Absolutely.
Worst trade ever.
I could sit here all day and talk about how bad of a contract that was, but we don't got the time for that. I don't think anyone's gonna want to sit here and watch me talk about for 5 hours about that contract.
Let's talk about March Madness.
Let's move on and let's go to some college basketball. It's March Madness season.
March no madness if you.
No madness. Yeah, honestly,
no madness. It hasn't been too much madness, honestly. So yeah, let's kind of move into that. John, I'll let you kick it off because I know you are the one that kind of royally watches it the most out of all of us. So kind of give me how we're feeling going into the round of 16 in terms of the teams that are left and kind of who's the favorite and just anything else that you're looking out for.
Yeah, the biggest thing, like I said, is there's no madness. This is like crazy. There was McNeese and like that's really it.
Yeah.
I don't view a 10 as like a crazy upset. St. John's cannot shoot the 3. If they had even one guy who could shoot the 3, they would have won that game.
Yep.
But they don't, so that didn't happen. But this is as much as this pains me to say. I hate Duke, but
this might be their
Duke's tournament to lose.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think they have a chance to do that. Looking at their path, Arizona is going to be a very good but tough matchup for them. But I think they get that done. And then they're probably going to be playing Alabama, which Alabama, fun to watch. But when they get a Division I team that'll play defense against them, and good defense, they're not going to score 53s a game.
That's fair.
Which is not going to happen. They also don't play defense. They score a ton of points, but also give up a lot of points. So it'll be fun to see that happen. That'll be like a fun matchup, but like they give up a lot of points.
Yeah.
Their defensive rating is 189th in the country. So, not great.
Not ideal.
Yeah, not great. But they score the most amount of points a game in Division I. But yeah, that's going to be a fun matchup. And then what I'm hoping for is in the Elite Eight is the Michigan versus Michigan State.
Oh, the Battle of Michigan? Yeah.
We need that.
I have them in my bracket, the Battle of Michigan.
Yeah, I think getting past Auburn will be tough. I also didn't really expect them to like kind of handle Texas A&M the way they did. But I just in Ole Miss, I didn't really expect them to beat Iowa State the way they did.
Yeah, that's fair. Voice crack.
Nice voice crack. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Way to call it out.
I was gonna say then you brought it
Yeah,
up.
that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I
Hey,
want
water.
I want Michigan versus Michigan State. That'd be a very fun matchup. And Michigan has a really good team. I mean, they can shoot the three, kind of. They play good defense. Yeah, a lot of these are gonna come down to teams that can make their free throws. And in college, no team can really do that. Yeah, definitely Duke's tournament to lose. And then on the other side of the bracket, Houston's good. Kentucky has actually had a pretty good tournament so far. I've kind of been surprised by that. But I think Tennessee will take them. Their guard plays really good. They can shoot. Their defense is good. I think Tennessee moves on. I think we could potentially see, if I'm right, like a 1-2 and 1-2 on multiple sides of the bracket.
I think you definitely could.
In 3 sides of the bracket.
That's wild.
That's insane. And then I could see Arkansas being their only Cinderella story. I mean, it would be crazy if it were to happen, but I mean, their bigs are great.
Yeah.
Both of their centers, the one that comes off the bench is good too. But they're physical. It's just great. The only thing is they also aren't great 3-point shooting team either. They're just a little bit better than St. John's. And they did run into some foul trouble with their bigs against St. John's. So maybe that could be a game plan, is to get their bigs out early.
Yep.
And if you can do that, you can win that game. But I mean, just because I also don't like Coach Cal, but I do like Arkansas. So if they do go on a run, plus I want to see Ace and I don't want to see a bunch of 1-2, 1-2s.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. We want the madness.
Yeah, so I would really like to see Arkansas move on.
Me too.
That'd be fun. And then Florida, I think it's gonna be.
I think they're beating Maryland, to be honest.
Yeah, Florida Duke championship. Probably.
That's actually exactly what I have.
Yeah,
I don't
want to see it, but
I was gonna ask you guys, what are you guys' predictions and I guess before March Madness started and now, if your brackets are still right on track, who do you have as your final 2 and who's winning it? I'll start with you, Drew, because you kind of into it.
I mean, I have Florida versus Duke in the finals, and I have Florida winning it all.
Okay.
After seeing a little bit of it, I think I'm gonna switch to Duke because I mean, Florida barely beat UConn. That was a close game. So and I thought it was going to be more. Yeah. And I thought it was going to be more of a blowout, but it wasn't. So now, honestly, I got Duke now, but I in my bracket I had Florida. My bracket's really good. I have a 99.1% bracket. And it's 200,000th in I don't know, nationwide, but
I tried to predict too many upsets and
I didn't do that many upsets, but the upsets that did happen, the very few of them, those were the upsets I had, so that's what made my bracket so good. I'm going to just tell you the winners I have in the Sweet 16. This is going to ruin it. The Sweet 16 is going to ruin my bracket. I have Auburn beating Michigan, which I think is going to happen. I have Ole Miss beating Michigan State. I don't think that's happening.
Okay.
Florida beating Maryland, I think, is going to happen. I had Kansas going this far.
I did too.
But I guess it's
Arkansas
now. I did not.
Really?
I had them losing to Arkansas.
Good pick.
I hate Hunter Dickinson. You left Michigan, you're dead to me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Have fun playing in Israel or Germany or some other
the Euro League or something.
Yeah.
I had Duke over Arizona, that's gonna happen. I feel like BYU over Alabama. At the time, I don't even know what I was thinking, but I think Alabama's gonna destroy them. Houston over Purdue, and then Kentucky over Tennessee. So I think Tennessee's going to beat Kentucky. I think this is going to ruin my bracket a little bit, but hey, you never know.
Wait, did you say Purdue?
I said Houston over Purdue.
Okay.
That's another one I feel pretty confident about.
Yeah, I do too.
So, I mean, let's hear what you got.
I don't stray too far from you. I have Michigan. I'm a Michigan fan.
Yeah,
so
fair.
That's just...
Over Auburn?
Yeah.
Fair, yeah.
I'll take him against Duke. I don't care. But I also really want the Michigan State matchup. It's also good. We're gonna be able to see Tom Izzo go deep into the playoffs, which is always good for the game, even though I don't care about a Michigan State guy.
Fair.
But he's such a great coach. another run. Also, the promo package that they will play for Michigan versus Michigan State will be awesome. I don't know. The Texas Tech Arkansas game might be the game of the Sweet 16.
Fair.
To me, honestly, I want Arkansas for the madness.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's gonna happen. I have Florida. Then I have Duke. I have Alabama. I just don't think BYU is gonna be able to slow them down enough.
I don't think so
with
either.
3-point shooting. I have Tennessee, and then I have Houston. This is like the worst Elite Eight of all time.
Yeah.
From a madness perspective.
Yeah.
There isn't any.
Boring.
Yeah. Which I mean I don't care. I like college basketball.
Yeah.
The tournament's the best playoffs in all of sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend. I can't wait.
And I'm not sure if I missed it. Who did you have as your final two when winning the whole thing?
I've got Florida after.
Who did you have originally? Who originally before? It's okay. We don't judge.
We listen and we don't judge. That's the TikTok thing, right?
Yep. We listen. We won't judge.
So we listen, we don't judge. I had UConn going to the championship, and
That's fair though. I mean, they won back to back. So
yeah.
who's to say they couldn't
I
repeat?
love their coach. Like I really thought they were gonna win that game, against Florida too. And then originally I have Bama winning it all, but after
Okay.
I don't know. Like I've seen enough Bama basketball this year. I watched a bunch of their games last year. They're a very similar team. They don't play defense. I don't know what I was thinking when I picked that.
Yeah, I'm looking at your bracket right now.
Yeah, it's just not like they're not a championship winning team. They can shoot they're the best shooters, best offense in the country. They just can't play defense, and you need to do that, especially against teams that they're gonna have to beat, with like Duke and teams like that. But yeah, I originally had Alabama winning, which was a pretty bonehead move by me. But whatever, it is what it is. They're not winning it.
So now you have Duke.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sucks.
Have to listen to my insufferable Duke fan
Man.
roommate. But yeah.
So I actually had Duke winning the whole thing.
Nice.
Going into the tournament, but the finals is a little screwy. So I don't know why. I just kind of, I don't know, just went kind of for the madness. I went Michigan State.
Oh, what the hell?
Going all the way to play
What
Duke.
the hell?
I had Michigan State going all the way to play Duke and losing to them. Do I agree with that now? It still could happen. It still could happen. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say I'll take it back just because. Why not? I'll just keep it the way it is. So for now, I'll keep it MSU versus Duke.
Hey.
And Duke's gonna win it. But I think that's the thing that I can guarantee that I'm the most confident in is that no matter who they play, even if it's Florida, because that's who I had. I had MSU beating Florida. In the Final Four. I think Duke's gonna win the whole thing regardless. Duke will be there.
Did you have any upsets going into like the Final Four? What's your Final Four?
My original was MSU over Florida and Duke over Gonzaga.
Gonzaga, okay.
Damn.
That was another one. I just kind of was
pick.
I wanted the madness.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just trying to.
I don't hate it. I don't hate
beating
it.
Houston though. That's crazy.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't just.
I can't really talk. My bracket's like 40%.
Yeah, mine's not good as you can probably understand now. But
also
I'll still take Duke.
I'm a big Rick Pitino fan, and I just couldn't put biases aside this year. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, let's move on. Not enough, a lot of madness, like you said. But we still got we're going to the round of 16, so you never know. Anything can happen. It's still March Madness. But let's move on. Let's spice it up a little bit. Let's change it up a little bit instead of kind of just talking about current topics. Let's play some games.
Yeah.
It's game time, baby. And who doesn't love a good game?
Yes.
So my game right here is Odd Man Out. So I put 4 players, and we're going to have it up on the screen. We put 4 players on a graphic. All NFL players, and we have to find out which one is the odd man out. So I've got the guys pulled up, and I believe you guys are looking at them now.
Yep.
We've got DeAndre Hopkins, we got Julio Jones, Odell Beckham Jr., and Antonio Brown. Now, could you guys tell me who is the odd man out of these 4?
Timeout. On this graphic, I see that you picked
Julio Jones
in an Eagles jersey. I
I
thought that's
That's just one of the first. That was the last team he played for, so I just put it there.
That's actually
We just put one of the more recent ones.
insane.
That's actually insane. I don't
It's
even know if I
insane.
knew he played on it.
I didn't think
He
about
did,
that.
yeah.
I was looking at it, I was
But-
like, honestly, who is
Not for long. Yeah, he didn't play for long. I just
Who
put.
plays you know, that might be a clue though.
It could be, but
It
at the
could
same
be,
time,
or
I
it
feel.
might not.
And I'll let you guys play.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'll
let's
let
just
you-
get into this.
I'll let you
Alright.
guys play.
So they're all wide receivers.
Yeah. How about? Well, the first thing that comes to mind, I'm gonna be honest, is that DeAndre Hopkins is the only one still on a team, right? Is Odell on a team?
I don't know if Odell.
I think he's a free agent,
has
right?
a contract right now.
It's
It's not gonna be something as easy as
it could be.
He's the only active player. Like that's not gonna be it,
No.
right? Okay.
Okay. All right.
I was gonna say,
I made it a little. I made it a little
different.
difficult, but not enough
Okay.
where you would never get it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
DeAndre won a Super Bowl.
DeAndre did.
Wait, no, he didn't. No, he didn't, because they lost. They
Oh,
lost.
yeah.
They lost.
Wait, so then could it be
Well-
Odell's the only one that did win a Super Bowl?
Oh, that's interesting.
Antonio Brown was on that Super Bowl winning team with the Bucks.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right, what about like yards wise?
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm starting to think too.
Is DeAndre the one that never led the league in yards?
Ooh,
Nothing
I
to
like
do with
that,
yards.
Jess. Nothing to do with yards. Oh, I thought I was gonna get this right.
I don't want to give you guys too many hints.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Is
Let's
it-
just
I'll let
hash
you guys
this out.
get
Let's
two.
hash this
I'll
out.
let you sit here and debate. And I'll
Odd
give you
man.
2 lives.
Odd man out is Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's the only person out of these 4 that have had a generational run on Twitter.
No.
It's a good guess. It's a good guess.
He does not lose a leg for that. By the
No,
way.
no. You guys
No.
you both have to agree on it. I'll let you
Alright,
both.
yeah,
You
yeah.
both have to agree on
Alright.
what your guess is, and
Okay.
you get 2 guesses.
Julio Jones more than one. Okay, all these guys have. Okay, what about like teams? They've played for more than one team. Obviously, they played for more than one team. How many did each one play for? Hopkins, Chief, Titan.
Yeah, 3 teams for him, I think. For Hopkins.
Yep. I don't know if we're counting Ravens now. Are we?
Season hasn't started. I don't think so.
Texans. I don't know. We'll come back to that.
All right, whatever. We'll come back.
3
to
or
these
4.
Yeah.
Julio played for the Falcons, obviously.
There's a Buck.
Oh.
Um,
Oh no.
yeah, I've thought that too, but and then I also thought like guys that caught balls from Tom Brady, but that's also not it.
Yeah. Okay. Julio only played for 2? 3? 3?
Wait, what about guys that lost Super Bowls?
Okay. Let's think.
Wait, Odell, no.
Hopkins lost the Super Bowl.
Julio lost one.
Antonio didn't.
This is taking us a lot longer than 2
It
minutes.
is. It is.
I'll remind you because I told you before, so it's not a hint. Antonio Brown and Odell both have won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this is tough. Maybe it's not. Maybe I don't know.
I want to know, is it like a
You can't even ask
football
questions.
thing?
Though.
It's a
it could
football
be-
thing. It's a
Okay,
football thing.
okay.
I'm not going outside football.
I feel like
so I was
you-
like, you're gonna give us like
No,
one
it's
of those the only one
football.
that has been in a commercial or something.
It's football.
Okay.
Wait. Is it as simple as 3 of the? All of them went to the Super Bowl, though, right? Did Julio go to the Super Bowl?
Yes, with the Pats.
Oh.
I mean, against the Pats. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Pats, come on.
But he lost the Super Bowl,
Correct.
so.
Could it be that Hopkins just didn't make it to a? Wait, yes, he did. What am I talking about? Wait, then I don't know.
Maybe like
it might not be
Super Bowl TD.
Ooh, Connor's a big
Oh,
prop
hold on,
guy.
hold on.
Connor's a big prop guy, so that could be it.
Hold on, because I know. Did Hopkins score a TD in this Super Bowl? Try to use your brain.
Bro, I was a little drunk at the
Yeah.
when I mean little, I was like a lot.
Okay.
I also didn't care about the Super Bowl. So.
I somewhat feel like he did, but at the same time, I don't.
feel like someone got excited when he scored because they had a bet on him.
Well, then maybe.
Maybe. So which one don't you think scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl?
So all right. I don't think it's Hopkins then. Let's rule him
Yeah.
out because I feel like he did. something is telling me Odell maybe didn't. But
no, I'm pretty sure he did.
okay, then rule him out. And then we're down to Antonio Brown or Julio Jones. One of them maybe just didn't score a touchdown.
Was Julio, because the only Super Bowl that he went to was with against the Pats.
Oh, I feel like Antonio Brown definitely scored a touchdown with the Bucks in the Super
I
Bowl.
feel he could. I don't think he scored a touchdown against the Pats. I feel like it was like Mohamed Sanu or something.
Let's guess that. Are you down to guess that?
Yeah, I'm down.
Julio Jones. Okay. The odd man out we're thinking is Julio Jones and that he didn't score a Super Bowl touchdown.
You are correct.
Hey!
That was,
that was
yeah.
bad.
That was correct.
That
yeah.
was good.
Yeah,
That was
big
good.
Top guy. Sometimes you gotta play the person asking the questions and not the
Yeah. So you are correct. So D-Hop caught one this past Super Bowl. Odell caught one in the Rams Super Bowl right before he got hurt. AB caught one in that Bucs Super Bowl. Julio Jones did not catch one in the Falcons Super Bowl, and that was the only Super Bowl that he's played in. So good work, guys. I don't think it took you that long. Good work.
Maybe 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like
Not
that.
bad.
Honestly,
I told you, it wasn't super easy.
It wasn't super
You had to
easy.
think about it a little bit.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
I like that. I like it.
All right.
But with that, we will wrap up today's episode of the podcast. Long one. So if you stuck with us the entire time, thank you. Special thanks to John. We
Thank you,
appreciate
John.
you coming on.
Follow me on Twitter at John7Mueller.
John Seven Mueller.
Or X, whatever you want to call it. I live tweet a lot of Sox games as they're going on. This will be my second full season doing it. And yeah, come watch
Follow
me tweet,
him.
I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Toss me a follow.
Hey guys, so that's going to do it for today's podcast episode. If you enjoyed, please like, comment what your favorite part was, and subscribe, because these are the types of engagement that gets us on the platform so other people can see it, other people can enjoy our sports stuff, and so you can see more of it. So if you enjoyed this video, please stay tuned for more stuff. We drop these podcast episodes weekly, and we're doing all types of new content through the summer, so be sure to stay subscribed. And if you're not following our social medias, the links will be in the description to our Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We love doing what we're doing, and we love you guys watching, so we want to thank you. And as always, we'll see you in our next podcast episode. See you later.